the Spartans Masters Series from where we typically crown champions, the Phoenix Raceway. Today it's a little bit different, not quite crowning a champion, but just in the middle of our normal season here in the Spartans Masters Series with still a race win on offer, a lot of points on offer, and well, at the end of the season you're going to need a lot of those to get into the playoffs at the end of the year. But we're getting an aerial view of the Phoenix Raceway here, recently reconfigured over the last couple of years. I should say that. I guess we've had the championship here for what, like 5 years now. So I guess it's been a little while since we've done an old switcheroo and put the old start-finish line back on the backstretch and decided to call it the front straightaway now. Joe, looking at Phoenix here, what do you think about it? How do you like the racetrack, and where do you think the trouble spots are going to be?
Well, looking at Phoenix, it's definitely anything other than typical. It's a unique shape. That dog leg, as you see from that beautiful aerial view, is going to be causing a little bit of concern as we go into it. So let's talk a little bit about the keys to tonight's race. First things, master that dog leg. That's a unique shape. The difference between 1, 2, 3, and 4 here is stark. And if you don't know how to handle that double turn, that extra sweep, it's just going to catch you, and it's going to end up being a spot where we see a lot of loose cars. Secondly, braking technique. Going into that first turn, you can go flying. And so if you don't really master trail braking and using your brake appropriately, you could end up, again, very, very loose. So watch out for turn 1. Watch for cars getting loose there. And finally, tire management. We're going 185 tonight on 4 sets of tires. That means there's not a lot of room for tire strategy. If we start getting a lot of yellow flags, you're going to see people staying out, wondering if other cars are staying out. So look for drivers to be taking cues from the guys at the lead, because you only got a couple tires to switch out.
Yeah, not too many tire sets behind the pit wall, so you do have to kind of pay attention to that. And we do have a stage break at some point in the middle of this race to kind of break it up. And you're gonna think that you're gonna take tires at the end of that. So probably a planned pit stop with tires taken there. Where do you break it up outside of that? But we're gonna move into the broadcast picks, and I guess this is a good time to introduce my other 2 companions here tonight, because I did not do it in the introduction. I'm Austin Edstrom. I got Joe LeCastro with me this week for the Spartans Master Series. It's fantastic. Joe, thank you for standing in this week. And Austin Darbyshire, the producer, as always. We're going to jump into our picks for this week. Up first, myself, I'm going to go with Kalen Mitchell. He's had a rough start to the year, kind of wishy-washy, but has had a lot of speed. I think at a racetrack like Phoenix, I think he can get it done, have a lot of speed, and not have a mistake.
And I haven't watched a lot of the SSRL Cup Series, the Desert 185 here tonight. So there's a name I recognize, though, Joseph Causey, and I always know he causes a stir wherever he goes. So I'm anxious to see how he handles Phoenix's uniqueness.
It looks like our producer's going with old Kenny Powell there in the 7. I think we're going to need to change up our pictures a little bit, get them squished down and maybe face to the front so we can see those beautiful or ugly mugs. If it was Darby behind the camera, But either way, we're about to get ready to get this thing rolling. Got the field starting to get lined up on pit road, so we're going to go ahead and jump through the starting grid. Johan Seminario up on the pole. It's been a very wishy-washy season for Johan so far. It's either checkers or wreckers. Johan trying to make it checkers tonight. PB Henry in second place. My pick, Kalen Mitchell, lining up on the inside of row number 2 in third. Lou Christian lining up in 4th place. Chris Hudson in 5th. Joseph Causey on the outside in 6th. Robert Besaw Jr. in 7th place. Justin Levine on the outside in 8th. Jay Salmon in 9th. Chad Kibbe rounds out the top 10.
Moving on into 11th place, it's Chris Vinson. After that, Kevin Zosiak in 12th. 13th, Charles Van Schaik. 14th, Kyle Gerlach. 15th, that's Kyle Westwood. 16th, Jordan Sailors. 17th, Cameron King on the inside, with on the outside Daryl Klotz in 18th position. 19th, that's Dave Fugue Jr. 20th, that's Tom Ringer.
Jeffrey Oakes lines up in the 21st place spot with Art Nicotera on his outside in 22nd. James Staples lining up in 23rd with Chase Johnson in 24th. Todd Parent in 25th and Mark Sanchez in 26th. Nicholas Schell lining up in 27th with Scott Schroeder on his outside. Evan Ethel in 29th. Chuck Burley rounds out the top 30.
And to finish things off, Charles Abert 31st, Kyle Fountain in 32nd, Dakota Jorgensen in 33rd, Jeff Chandler in 34th, and Corey Saucier in 35th, with Kenny Powell in 36th.
We're glad you're here with us tonight for the Spartans Master Series from the Phoenix Raceway. Johan Seminario getting ready to kick us off here. The green flag is flying, and we're racing from Phoenix. Oh, no, we're not. The 43's around, and we're under caution. caution. Chris Hudson spinning out to the bottom of the racetrack. One other car gets spun out as well. 2 drivers from the top 10. Great starting spots. The other one was Jay Salmon. Immediately around. We didn't even get going.
I wonder if maybe he started in the wrong gear. Maybe he hit the gas just wrong. We're going to maybe get a replay on that and try to piece it together a little Sherlock Holmes style. But that's an interesting place to put your first yellow on tonight's race.
Yeah, the next gen cars are typically not the most difficult to get up through the gears. 43. Oh my, it looks like he downshifted.
That's a misshift for sure.
Yeah, that's a downshift.
Can't go in that direction. Must have been trying to slap it from second into third and just
see. Yeah, he's in second right here. Yep, down to first.
Yep.
Man.
See ya.
See, that's why I like the paddles that are built into my wheel. You know, typically,
yeah,
it's really hard whenever I'm upshifting to accidentally click my left finger, right? Like if I got one finger on the paddle up here, I'm like, that's definitely the down button, you know. But you got the shifter in front of you, and you can make that mistake pretty easy.
But you don't feel like you're missing the verisimilitude of having that clickety clack of slapping the stick into third.
I definitely feel like I'm missing the authenticity, the immersion that would come with it, but I'll take that for less mischiefs.
Okay, fair enough.
And I don't have to spend money on a shifter, so that works. I spend enough on my setup. I don't need to spend more on a freaking shifter, right?
That's fair. That's fair. I had to have it personally for that extra step of just wanting to feel like the car was right there. Had to have it.
Man.
I've got the flappy paddles, but I've got the shifter too.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, God gave me one. I don't need 2, right? So like,
that's fair.
I'm just gonna stick with with what God gave me on that one.
Going with the gifts. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, he didn't give me the steering wheel and the pedals, so I had to buy that myself. But, you know, that is what it is.
Santa brought you those.
Definitely not. I worked for these puppies. It was not Santa. If Santa did it, I would have been very pleased. But the old lottery has not helped me yet.
Yeah.
Sports betting has not made me rich, so we're not quite there.
Nah,
is Chris Hudson still in 5th?
Yeah.
He just jumped up to 5th from nowhere. I cannot believe it's given all his spots back. What?
That is
Jay
impressive.
Salmon too. Jay Salmon. How have both of them? They were the caution. One of them was the caution. How in the world has it given both their spots back?
Well, you know, you get one whoopsie, right? As an official NASCAR rule. You get
what in the world?
Everybody gets one whoopsie, and that was his. So we're good now.
Well, we're coming up to, I guess, what's the start of the race? Johan Seminario easily to the lead. PB Henry did not stand a chance. Kind of sucks for PB. On the first start, you know, you got to go on green. You could have had an opportunity to go down into turn number 1 side by side, but every restart after that, the leader just has such an advantage. PB just having to settle into 2nd, Kayla Mitchell into 3rd, and Chris Hudson, who wrecked that thing, is, you know, side by side for 4th, looking like he might be losing out to the 2 on the outside. Luke Christian trying to make the move around the outside. Looks like he's got it stuck coming out of 4th.
Luke Christian's on the outside. Behind him, Joseph Causey, not quite taking the bait and diving down.
Levine! What a save to keep it off the wall. Does he keep it off the racetrack? Levine coming back up. No caution, but somehow no damage on that number 1. I cannot believe what I've just seen from Justin Levine.
By inches, absolute inches. I'm okay. He shouts. He's back on the road. He's at the back of the pack, but he's the hero of the moment for keeping us out of the 2nd caution of the race. Justin Levine, what a save.
That's stupid. Absolutely
ignorant.
Real.
Wow. Yep.
Well, I can tell you somebody who's going to come down and get tires if we get a yellow flag before the stage.
Yeah. Talk about hot spots. He went screaming through there, but he got a good jam. He went down, crossed the line, and then I would say he paid the price for it and didn't merge back well in with their crew.
Oh, there's the yellow that he needed. Well, it was just that Causey made a move to go to the inside of the car he was making the move on right at the same time as Levine was coming up the racetrack. It was just poor timing on the 3 wide, but that's what you get at a racetrack like Phoenix that intentionally makes it where you can cut half the racetrack for some stupid reason. But we got the 74 off to the inside wall. Scott Schroeder.
Yeah, Schroeder looks like he is now going to be. Oh, locked him up hard.
Well, I heard him on the chat. I think he had a hardware issue from what I'm hearing. Oh, okay, I'm hearing he hit the brakes and his seat unlatched and slid back on.
Oh no, yeah.
So he didn't have the right amount of brake pressure in there. Yeah.
Yep. Getting him out early. Ooh.
That would do it. That would do it.
That would do it. Got to get these out of those.
You know who's really happy about that seat sliding back?
Justin Levine.
Absolutely. I mean, what the heck? Look, what he did down there was great, and I can walk you through it. Like him wrecking to the left and then somehow ripping it back to the right. Like that's a textbook move you do at the big 1.5 miles, with the wall way down off the racetrack, and you spin out of 2 or down the back straightaway. You can always pull that off to avoid hitting the wall. Rip it back to the right, gas it up, avoid with the back end if you can. You pull it off at the super speedways all the time. Talladega, I couldn't tell you how many times I've been nose first, pointed to the inside wall down the back straightaway. Ripped it back to the right and gassed it up away. But to do it at Phoenix, like this little narrow short shoot right here, it blows my mind. There's no way he should have been able to get away with it with that little racetrack.
Yeah, not a lot of track to work with, and yet he found every inch of it, stopping just short of crossing the yellow line and causing us another yellow, but one that he ultimately needed. Thankfully, though, his car's in one piece.
Look,
that's all there is to it.
You do that at Kansas, Talladega, Chicago. Well, Chicagoland's got grass down there, but you get the idea. It's like okay, that was cool, really good save, bro, but it's nothing crazy. You do it at Phoenix or Dover or Darlington. It's like, holy crap! How did you find room to even do that? I mean, fantastic. And they don't have fast repair, so it's a big deal. You don't have a fast repair, or you don't have any damage.
Yeah, he was really flying, as you were saying. He really was ripping it through that corner and had nothing he could do other than go flying. And those brakes, oof, whatever he's paying, he is paying enough. Those brakes are beautiful.
Well, to not come back on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That was the main thing. I can't believe that thing slowed down in time to. I mean, he stopped right before the yellow line. I can't believe it.
That'll be one. If it's not a highlight of tonight's race, I'm not sure what is. And it was a car going off the racetrack with no wreck.
I just want everybody to know.
Still makes a highlight.
That guy complains about being so unlucky. That was pretty lucky right there.
That was pretty lucky.
That was pretty lucky right there. I don't know if I want to hear you complaining anymore.
I'll give him the skill check of knowing when to hit the brakes once he realizes.
Yeah. Of course. Coming back up to the restart zone for the second time tonight. Finished up the second caution. Johan, back to the gas, back to the green flag. We're racing again. Equal for second. Mitchell, PB, Henry, nothing between the two. Looking to make a move a little bit further back. Joseph Ghazi looking to the outside there of Lou Christian. But Lou's going to send it up way high through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was because of Henry. Henry looks like he fell back just a little bit there. That's PB Henry. Fell back into that center line, and that pushed Lou up into the outside. And Henry looks a lot stronger now. It might have just been during that restart. He didn't quite have the clearance he wanted for it. Now on the outside, keeping it tail tight with Kalen Mitchell.
Woo! Well, you got another yeller.
Let's see what happened. Might have been a...
Nicotera might have been something similar from what we saw from Levine coming out of the dog leg. One of the few that doesn't use it. Oh, man.
Just loses it. It looks like he just turned in too hard and lost control of the car. But yeah, he was one of the few that we saw there from the aerial cam. A good view there. The grid vision chopper
tires?
Cam. Oh, I don't know. Let me check.
No, he did not. He did not. I was thinking maybe it was a cold tire thing on the bottom of the racetrack, but he didn't have cold tires. So.
No.
That's a weird one. like you said, he definitely just tugged on the wheel too hard. But and like I said, I could see it on cold tires. But you've got him warmed up. We've had some heat cycles. That's a strange one.
Yeah, you kind of think with a couple of turns of the tire, you wouldn't immediately lose control like that. That was very fast. It looked like a snap
Yeah.
movement, but it was hard for us to say without looking here. Let's have a look, see inside
This
here.
is somebody else.
This
This
is
is
riding along with
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Yeah, you just. Yeah. I mean, you got nowhere to go. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
car coming out of nowhere. Good luck.
Yeah, Sanchez is going full speed, just trying to keep his
Wait.
car on the road. He's not
Can we
going
get
to
on
avoid
board
that.
of Art?
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. Let's get a little look-see here.
This is Staples.
Okay. It's
Here
all
we
right.
go. We're going back. We're going back, folks. Let's see. I mean, that's a weird one. I don't think that he did anything crazy with the wheel.
Maybe it was. I'm trying to look for a setup. I'm trying to decide.
Just the way the
know.
track's laid out there, though, like the geometry of the corner, it's very
That is a hard
strange in
read.
the sense of like you're wrapping. It naturally wraps you through it. Like you imagine turn 1 at Darlington, like you go into that corner, and it's almost like the corner like grips you into it and throws you through the rest of it. You can kind of get that same sensation at the bottom, I suppose, of the dog leg. And maybe he just kind of cut it too far, got maybe a bit of the left front tire down to the apron where it wasn't banked. So maybe it just offset the car a little bit and ripped him around. I don't know. Very odd one.
Okay. We'll see. What do you think, YouTube chat? So folks watching, anybody who's tuned in right now, chime on in.
Yeah, please. That one's a tough one for me.
And it looks like Justin Levine actually left us a message in the chat saying, talk about being lucky, he still has a 0x.
That's why I said luck. Wait. Well, how did he not get a 2? How did he not get a 2x out of that? He spun out. He lost control. That was the definition of losing control of your vehicle. Either way, Johan, coming back to the green flag. We're racing again at Phoenix. I don't know how the heck you get a 0x out of that, but Mitchell, PB Henry, still side by side. Basically just going to be a restart battle between these two until we can, get it sorted out, get the green flag running. Once we get single filed out, I feel like we'll get a good run, but it's tough here at Phoenix, man. Long sweeping corners, not a lot of room, but a lot of race cars out here, 36 car field.
Yeah. When you're not paying the bills to pay the repairs, you see a lot of early aggressive racing, even in some of these long races in the digital realm. I've noticed. You watch this kind of race in the flesh, in meat space, and you're going to see a 2-car line for a lot of the early racing just to get things going, just to warm the tires up. That patience would pay off here. These guys are hungry. We see passes already being made, lines already being drawn. And as things single file out, that's pretty much only because I think the cars are trying to look for that pass.
Caleb Mitchell clearing into second. I know that he's on a new wheel here recently. He's gotten a pretty big upgrade. I know that he was recently on a really old, worn, rundown. I believe it was a Logitech wheel that he could move the inside shaft that's connected to the wheelbase. It would like move up and down, like terrible. And so I imagine him upgrading to some direct drive stuff has got to be a big improvement. And right now it's showing on the racetrack up to second. I gotta say, the hardware does matter to an extent. If your stuff is broken and you go to direct drive, you're definitely going to notice a difference.
Absolutely. 3 wide right now. It's Robert Basaw with the 33 of Chris Vinson. And then down on the inside, I think that's Kyle Westwood. Vinson falling back. That was close.
Tight between those three coming off of turn number 2. Not much room between them. Thought there was going to be a little bit more door contact. They were able to keep it clean. Westwood continuing the march forward.
Pretty sure I just saw wall contact there.
Oh, Levine contact with somebody else going into the dog leg. Caution flags flying. Looked like Levine thought that the car under him was going to cut the dog leg. He didn't. And, well, big contact.
That dog leg is bumper cars, man. It is straight up bumper cars. Every time I watch these guys going around, when they unzipper and then zipper back in, it is the most nerve-wracking thing I can think of to watch on iRacing.
And there you can tell Levine's trying to take, the bottom lane up the dog leg. He knows he's too wide for sure. But at that point, whenever you're too wide, most of the time, whenever you're too wide here, one person cuts the dog leg, so you typically expect it, but you're not entitled to it. So Chase Johnson, I believe, in the 57, you know, he didn't decide to go down to the very bottom, and Levine acted as if he was. Ultimately, there was the incident. Got to put the blame on Levine there. Like I said, you expect the 57 to go down there, but he doesn't have to.
That's true. It sounds like Levine understood the situation, and things are pretty clear. The air is clear, even though the situation was regrettable.
Yeah.
22 out of 185 here. And we got cars coming in for tires.
And I expect a lot of guys to come down and at least take one tire set. But
ooh,
well,
the 67's around.
You know, I was just talking about his new wheel. Maybe he's not used to the load cell brake pedal yet. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he got turned. Surprised he's still sideways, but waiting to get his work done here.
Can you pit backwards?
No.
I didn't think so.
He's got to hope that he doesn't get lapped, too, if he's staying in pit road. He's just getting it turned around.
We'll see what happens. I think he's going to Austin Powers his way to...
He decided to come off and not take tires yet, so I think he's just going to come back around and have to force his way through the field.
Wow.
But definitely frustrating there for Kalen.
I was going to say, I assume they ghosted once they were past the line for pit road.
No, you don't ghost until you're in your pit box.
Oh, okay.
In the pit boxes, I should say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's no ghosting on pit road until somebody gets into a pit box.
And then it was that nice wide turn into pit road, into his pit box that it looks like is what cost him. Just switched up the guy behind him a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely a little weird. It's a struggle some places, like Phoenix, like Richmond, where you got curves in the pit road. If you're pitting around the curve, Martinsville can be very tough, very difficult to kind of find your box, especially the first time down pit road. That was Kalen's first time, so
that's true.
Just trying to find his box can be a little difficult, but definitely frustrating if you're Kalen. Don't want to see that in the early going. Tough to get wrecked on pit road, but it's not like it was intentional from PB. It's just Kalen drifted out a little wide, like you said. It wasn't anything big.
Yeah. Looks like things are getting ready to come back here pretty soon. I'm hoping that we'll get some nice green flag racing going. We almost did there.
We'll see. The field's a little jumbled up because of that, right? A couple people had come down pit road taking tires in an earlier pit stop. Some guys decided to come down then, including our race leaders, on that pit stop. Some guys still have not pitted. So we've got a pretty big mixed bag through the field. Well, I should say that. I guess further down, there was only a handful that came down at the pit stop beforehand, so I shouldn't really say that. A lot of guys came down to top off also on gas that did come down the previous. But either way, the green flag's flying. Sailors, back to the gas, back to the green flag. Johan looking to the inside for second place. Trying to get his nose down in there. Can he get it? Can he dive in deeper here? Not really. The 8 just drives it off in deeper. Dakota Jorgensen going to be too deep on those older tires. Johan able to get the better run off the bottom. Sailors struggling a little bit further up too on the older stuff. Couple people into the fence off of 4. Or sorry, off of 2.
Let's see what happens here. Jorgensen now down to the inside, just blocking Kenny Powell by a little bitty bit.
Oh, Sailors. Pancake the fence.
Folks now down, everybody cutting that inside line. Still got eyes on Jorgensen right now up here at the front. Powell really holding on to the yellow line while Jorgensen slides back out to the outside. Holding on to that spot. A little bit behind him, there's a 2-wide situation going between Joseph Causey and PB Henry. Down Henry on the outside. He's still got it by a hair.
Johan to the inside for the race lead. Sailor's just kind of a sit and duck up there in the older tires. Hasn't been able to use the clean air to his advantage. Seminario getting down to the inside. Sailor's trying to pinch him close. Didn't have the best angle on entry, and Johan's going to be able to get the throttle down earlier and power down, get the lead over Jordan Sailors. And like I said, on the newer tires, being the first one through, you can really kind of stretch out that lead. The next guy on tires, still back in 5th place, PB Henry, in a dogfight right now with Kenny Powell. So Johan right now has an opportunity to really stretch this gap out and let it go all the way to, you know, the end of the stage. If he can get a 2-second lead over PB Henry before he clears for second, it's game over for the stage.
That's true. 45 laps left in the stage now as we enter lap 30.
PB cooking around the outside of the third, making 2 passes quickly. But now looking to the outside of Jordan early in a 3. Oh, Dakota Jorgensen getting loose on the bottom a little bit further back. He's going to chop the nose off of Kazi coming off the forward. Kazi looking way down to the inside, chopping off the apron of the racetrack, trying to cut the dog leg and dive it back down to the inside of the number 8. 888's on your screen. Which ones are going to come out in front? Kazi looking to take the spot. Dakota's still on the older tires.
Yeah, I thought that was going to work for Kazi. Unfortunately, it looks like it didn't. He gets held up just slightly now. Jorgensen seeing that line, getting down low as he can, but still keeping Kazi off. Kazi now diving low as he can get on that turn and really powering up. He's halfway past the car now.
One spinning down to the inside wall.
Got a spin.
Not quite sure. I think it's Westwood. Kyle Westwood off down to the inside. Able to keep it, I believe, off the wall. And no caution came out.
Good job keeping it green there, but unfortunately it looks like Westwood.
Oh, man. Dogleg shenanigans in the next gen car continue. There was a couple updates ago where this car and track combination just didn't really work at all.
Well,
it's about a year
shenanigans tonight.
Yeah, at least with the fixed setup, it didn't. Now tonight the open setup. Seen a couple issues already through the dog leg, so I don't know. It's been a little worrisome. A little worrisome.
A little worrisome, but it's the kind of thing everybody's got to worry about, so it just makes the race more interesting.
Be careful in the dog leg. That's all you got to know. Not a lot of field spread, though, man. All these guys still on top of each other all throughout the pack. Kazi making another move, getting himself up to P3.
Right,
you kind of see this week on Grid Vision, a new little addition to our scoring ticker. Tiny little highlight on the scoring pylon of who our cameras on. Obviously, we have our top 10 up there just about all the time. You see the little orange dash under 10th place of Dave Fugie Jr. And, well, whenever it skips through for 11th or 20th, obviously, if we're on somebody back there, it'll stay alongside with them. I believe it does disappear, obviously, if we're watching 15th and we're seeing 21st through 30th. I do believe it disappears off there, but just a little addition on there to make it a little bit easier to decipher who we're on in some of these bigger races.
That is awesome. Well, there we go. What a wonderful new feature we're bringing to you, enhancing the Grid Vision experience on a regular basis.
And if you have any adjustments or tweak enhancements, you know, I know it's just a little orange line under there right now, just kind of indicating. But it doesn't need to be big. But if you got any suggestions, let us know.
Happy to hear anything anyone has to say in that room.
Oh, yeah. Our producer would love to hear everything that you have to say about everything that you love and hate about Grid Vision.
Correct.
Yep. It's aderbyshire@gmail.com.
Looks like things are calmed down a little bit. We got eyes on Justin Levine here. And Kalen Hudson. It should be Chris Hudson. I was thinking of a different person entirely. Let's see what's going on up at the front. Things have spread out quite a good deal right now, it looks like.
Yeah, but
Henry.
PB's actually running Johan down. He was about a second back whenever he took second, and he's halved it. Or not quite halved it. He's got it down to 6/10. But the last lap, look at that. Not quite as good. Gonna wait to see this time by. Johan loses a tenth. PB loses a tenth and a half from his lap before. So, PB may push the tires a little bit too hard trying to catch up to Johan, and already paying the price.
Very easy to do, especially when you've got something that you think you're trying to prove on in this kind of situation. You're going to be hitting that gas aggressively, and that's going to be something that is similarly braking aggressively. So
just be
those
tight,
two added up.
I mean, out of 4, he looked like he was pushing, which definitely could be a running the tire off issue, or it could just be, I don't know. I always kind of forget this is an open setup series. It's the only open setup league that I've broadcasted, so it's a little weird, but I always forget that, you know, these setups go through little tight phases, little loose phases. You know, the fixed setups, they start one way and they trend one direction the entire run most of the time, in my experience. The open setups, man, if you get the good set, it'll start neutral, it'll go a little tight, then it'll go really, really loose, and then it'll be like absolutely perfect or something ridiculous. So PB could just be going through a little tight phase here. Might be able to come back to him on the long run.
Well, let's hope so. We're going to see what happens one way or another. Right now, Seminario is holding on to that lead. Not exactly up to the full second yet, but it's definitely ticking backwards. Behind him, Joseph Causey is right behind PB Henry now. You want to talk about a race that might be getting a little bit tighter there, too. Causey has been more or less holding on to, actually, the distance that he's had. But it looks like he's trying not too hard right now. You can see when Causey wants to try harder, I think he dives a little lower and kind of stays a little lower, especially in some of those turns, to try to eat up some of that track. But right now, he's more or less reading the car in front of him.
Reckon out of turn number 2, further back in the pack.
Jay Salmon?
Jay Salmon. Oh, yeah. Jay Salmon was destroyed.
Hoi, oi, oi. Let's have a little look-see.
Kyle Gerlach was the other one. Kayla Mitchell. Get to the inside.
Whoa.
Holy cow. Oh, my God. The 76 just kept spinning.
Beyblade, let it rip. That was impressive.
Dude, I feel like Salmon came down. Kayla may have came up an inch or two. Salmon's honestly, yeah, Salmon pinched him down from that angle. God bless, I hope he's not in VR.
Can confirm that would have been a wild ride.
I don't know if I've ever seen a car spin that fast on the
Me either.
In that direction.
Me either, for sure.
May have seen them barrel roll about that quick, but man, spin on their wheels.
That lateral spin, yeah. You don't see the mixer a lot.
It's a good time though for us to go ahead and step aside and take our first commercial break at the racing action. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Whenever we come back, we'll take you to the end of the first stage.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level.
Welcome back to the Spartans Master Series from the Phoenix Raceway. Johan Seminario up in the race lead. Still about 27 laps, I believe, when we get restarted. 28 left in the stage. Johan back to the gas pedal. A little bit of a stack up further behind, right in front of Justin Levine. I believe Corsiassier didn't quite get to the gas pedal quite as quickly, or through the gears quite as quickly as the guys behind. Created a bit of a stack up. But everybody's starting to surge back together again as we dive down to turns 1 and 2. Levine looking behind, side-by-side battles further ahead. Kenny Powell side by side, down on the bottom, trying to take the place from Van Schack into the top 5. He's going to get the move done. A lot of shifting further back.
And it looks like the guys are much more aware. Ooh, we got lights. I said we got lights. I meant to say we got smoke. I almost thought I almost said we got a fire. We got smoke out of one car slamming into the wall. It's the 18.
Yeah, Corey Saucy, not what he wanted to see. I mean,
Straight to pit road.
That might have been another dogleg issue. I don't think he had contact. I might be mistaken, but it might have been another
contact. All of a sudden,
issue.
I saw him slamming the brakes hard.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
The transition, he bounced through it.
That's a hard impact too. That's going to be a lot of damage. Tough break for Corey, running inside the top 10. Now basically down and out of it.
Very unfortunate, but we are still green. Lap 50 of 185 now up in the front. We're looking here at Henry, PB, fighting the leg himself just a little bit. Yellow flag is out. Daryl Klotz might be the name this time, I think. Let's see. Gets low. Ooh, 2 hits. Watch this.
Racing.
First hit, 1. Second hit.
Racing for 29th.
Yeah, racing hard enough. Well, we find ourselves here again with a few more people pitting in this time as PB Henry into pit lane, Kenny Powell, and Dave Hughey Jr. Also in the pits, Corey Saucier and Kyle Gerlach.
Not happy to see not much contact and wrecking. I don't know. I felt like that was a pretty big move from Ethel there to come back and almost like rage after the contact. I don't know. Like, we've already had a big handful of cautions in the first 50 laps of this 185 lap race. Why in the world are we wrecking for 29? I just don't get it, man. Get to the end of stage 1.
Yeah, it did look like a spin. You know, one of those things where it was like, oh, you're going to bump me? I'll bump you right back.
It's just like it's too far at this point. Like, there's just literally zero point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're extending, or you're putting us under caution for no reason at all. You're back there, last places on the lead lap. Just ride it out. There's nothing going on. But, oh, we gotta go under caution again.
Well, it is going to lead to a little bit of tension, perhaps, in the part of the guys on the track going through all these yellows. I can imagine that tensions will be high. A little bit of bumping might cause a little bit of bumping back, but like you said, it's not going to benefit anyone if we're trying to get to the end of the first stage here and everyone's deciding to give a little back when they get spun when they're that far back in the race. Up at the front, sure, give and get, but when you're racing for 29th, you don't really expect to see it. You kind of hope you don't see it.
Yeah, you need a little bit more give and take back there. And yeah, you need give and take everywhere, but man, I get, everybody says in NASCAR they race the hardest, back 15th on back. And yeah, you need to race hard. You need to try to get up there. But I mean, come on, let's not, have a little bit of contact and then turn it into somebody else because you're upset about it. That's a little over the top.
I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you there. Crossing the line, guys are going to start stacking up now for the restart.
On 2x2 once again here. Another 20 laps on the restart to go into the end of stage number 1. Johan Kazi, you're front 2. Lou Christian in 3rd. Charles Van Schack. Kevin Zosiak in the top 5. Levine has recovered from that earlier spin. We're only on lap 55, and he's already up to the 6th place spot. Chris Hudson in 7th. Chad Kibbe in 8th. Cameron King in 9th. And Chris Vincent rounds out the top 10 in the early going. Like I said, at the green flag, we'll have 20 laps to go in stage 1. Into the restart zone, back to the green flag. Johan Seminario able to take the lead. Almost contact between Kazi and Lou Christian through the over the start finish line. Bigger moves further back outside of the top 10. Somebody diving out of the apron, making moves. Oh, and making contact. Somebody going spinning. Both of them save it. Somehow, maybe. I believe the 20 was still sideways. Jeffrey Oaks. Yeah, Jeffrey Oaks just about got turned by Dakota Jorgensen down into turn number 1. I mean, Jorgensen came from way low on the racetrack, just about destroyed Oaks. Cannot believe they both hung onto their race cars.
Yeah, Jorgensen was the one who was getting loose there, actually. We saw the smoke from a minute ago, and I was very concerned that was going to be our next yellow of the night.
It was both of them. They were both sideways. Still racing up towards the front. Kazi side by side. Lou Christian looking to his inside, trying to take a spot. Can he get it from him? Way down to the inside of the racetrack, cutting as much as he can out of it. It's still side by side as we go down into turn number 1. Christian on the inside, wrapping the bottom. A couple people ripping the fence, Chastain style. Some contact further back too. And even further back, we've got another wreck. Oh, it's Jeffrey Oaks. He was just loose through that corner, and now he's destroyed through it.
We had some tough racing in that last gap. Sounds like there was a 4-wide situation too.
Looks like Robert Besaw got Jeffrey Oaks down to 1.
Let's see what happens here.
Besaw never turned into the corner.
Yeah, I don't think that he was going to be going down across the line. I think he was going to take the wide line, and the car on the outside was going to cross down.
Okay, I'm not saying he needed to run the line, but he needed to run lower than that. Being 3 wide, you can't expect somebody to run the fence at Phoenix. You don't.
That's fair. That's fair.
I would run the fence.
My only devil's advocate argument here is that he was ahead of him. He was ahead of him going into the turn.
Well, Jeffrey was ahead of Besaw, so he should
Jeffrey
dictate.
was ahead of Besaw. It's true.
Yeah.
Jeffrey was ahead of Besaw. I flipped that around in my head. Yeah. Car behind.
He's side by side, and typically at a lot of tracks, I'll typically give the guy on the bottom a little bit more room to kind of dictate what line you're going to be running. I think you kind of earned that, but here, Phoenix, you can't force the guy to the fence, and I feel like Robert's trying to make him enter the corner way too high.
Yeah.
So I'd probably put that a little bit more on Robert.
That's fair. See, we got some love for Kibby right now on the field from our YouTube chat.
Dog Kibby. Every time I see that name, I think of dog kibble.
Yep, I can't help it either. Chad Kibby's up 2 places right now in 8th, still holding on to it. We'll see how things shake up for him as the race goes on. Hopefully making one fan happy tonight. Sun's starting to set here at Phoenix Raceway, which is actually in Avondale, of all places, not Phoenix. 4:18 p.m. as the sundial says. That beautiful golden glow lighting the hills. You got plenty more racing
77-degree
ahead.
track temp.
Pardon me?
77-degree track temp, so not very hot out there either.
77. That's not bad, yeah. I was kind of expecting a hotter, drier heat.
No, we're in November. It's still fall time for Arizona. They still get down there a little bit.
Here comes the stack up for the restart.
2x2 once again at Phoenix. 13 laps to go on the restart in stage number 1, and then we still got a whole lot more after that.
Yeah. Once we get to the stage, we're not quite half done yet.
No. Coming up to the restart zone once again here, Johan Seminario. He's your race leader. Joseph Cosby on the outside. Those two teammates, how are they going to work out on this restart? Do they work together? Do they fight each other? Johan getting a jump on him, but Cosby able to get clear second this time. He was in that battle with Lou this time, not even having to fight him. So a positive there for Cosby in second. Side by side for fourth, further back, Van Schack and Levine going at it.
That is a tough one right now because on the outside, Van Schack's got nowhere to go. If he can't get tucked in, he's going to lose a lot of places.
Van Schack still on the outside, losing another spot. Cameron King trying to take it. That'll be for the 5th place position, but Van Schack fighting back on the outside. Trying to hang on to the top 5, but King just drives it in deeper down to the 3. Can he clear the 0-0? He's going to do it. He's just going to drive across the nose out of turn number 4, take the spot. And he's punched the ticket into the top 5, but we're racing hard for 2nd place. Lou Christian to the outside of Joseph Cosby. Cosby throws it in deep into turn 1, got a little sideways. Hangs on, but we're under another yellow.
Next yellow's out.
Just missed his breaking point.
Mm-hmm. Bumps right into him. There's the replay on that.
Whew. Wow, this has been a start.
It really has been. The start's lasted 65 laps. That's what it feels like. Let's see if we can make it to the stage. How about that?
I would thoroughly enjoy that. I'd be happy with it. That's for sure.
I think you, me, and
Will it
half the
happen?
drivers would.
Will it happen? I don't know. Starting to doubt it. Starting to doubt it.
Don't doubt it. Have faith.
That's tough these days.
I know, but if a commentator doesn't have faith, who does these days?
Thank God he didn't have VR for that crash. I'm telling you, I would have thrown up. There's no chance.
I have been
Could've
in
been
similar
over.
situations in VR. They are disorienting, but survivable.
I used VR for a very short amount of time. Never had a crash like that. Thank God. I'd have thrown that thing off my head and never used it again. Right then. We just have there's some crash physics that I'm just like, that just doesn't look good for VR. I know I could just close my eyes, but sometimes, it just happens so fast.
Yeah.
Getting ready to double up once again here. Hopefully this will be the final restart of stage number 1. We'll have 6 laps to go on the restart. Johan Seminario, your race leader. Kazi second. Christian third. Levine fourth.
Let's see how things go. Pace car getting ready to come off here. And we'll be back on with a grid vision start.
Seminario down into turn 3 and 4 here once again, coming up to the restart zone. 6 laps to go into stage number 1. Who's going to win it? Kazi trying to get a good restart, able to get clear. He's got a bump from Levine there. Levine now side by side for third with Lou Christian. And Kazi looking to the outside of Johan for the race lead. Not able to hang on to it. Johan just lets out of the throttle, or lets out of the brake. Eases up the racetrack, takes the spot. Gets himself back up into the race lead, into the clean air, side by side for third. Still Levine, Christian fighting it out. Lou getting onto the apron a little bit, having to get out of the gas, a little sideways. Lou hangs on to it, racing even harder further back, a couple rows of 3 wide.
Yeah, we had some smoke back there a second ago, I think, but someone was able to hold on to it.
Oh, no.
There's some smoke now. We've got 4 cars around, 5 cars around.
Oh, come on, guys. It's been a while. Don't go in there. Guns blazing. Holy cow. Holy cow.
3 cars parked backwards on the outside. That's not quite the stage.
This is not a good racetrack. This is not a good racetrack.
And it sounds like things might be changing here.
Yeah, we're going to single file restarts. Okay, he just came way up the racetrack. There were 3 wide, and the 23 came up and cleared himself.
Woof. And then just got collected.
God, that's a freaking graveyard. Jorgensen, Van Schack. we are going to get a 1-lap shootout to the stage, I think.
Just the one. I think just the one.
I think we're getting a 1-lap shootout for the stage. So we will go green on lap 75 and go back under caution after a lap. But this one won't be for yellow, so it's okay. Or for cause, so it's okay.
Single power restarts should clear up a lot of the early tension of these restarts.
I hope. I'm hopeful. It's just, you know, you get side by side. Somebody cuts the dog leg, comes back up the track. How much room is somebody else leaving them? How early or late is somebody turning into the corner? Like, obviously, everybody out here is on wildly different pages.
Really, truly, there is not one unifying strategy for Phoenix. It seems to be what folks are doing, and that's contributing, of course, to the problem. With a track this unique, everyone's got different strategies that they're adjusting on the fly. You're going to have accidents, and this has been proof and pudding.
Well, this will be interesting to see what happens. The light on the pace car's not off, so I don't know. This might be the end of the stage. It's the end of lap 75, so I'm thinking... I'm not sure. Apparently they're doing a 1-lap shootout, but they extend the stage. So, one sec. I'm hearing right now. Waiting on official word from race control.
Let's see.
Looks like we are doing a 1-lap shootout for the stage. So there was a little bit of miscommunication. They thought they were going to do a 1-lap shootout, but iRacing had one more lap of pacing. So we are going to do 1 lap, then throw the caution. So Johan leading us down for the 1 lap before the end of stage number 1. How's the single file restarts going to work out? Do we still see a little bit of mayhem? Is there anywhere for there to be mayhem? Where can they find it? Johan to the gas. The green flag is flying. Stacked up for the front 2. Levine didn't get a good jump, but Kazi able to keep it close. Kazi sweeping to the bottom. He's going to just about make contact with Johan, but Johan gets a better drive off.
Wild. I thought maybe he was going to try to take it on the 1-lap shootout.
Johan is going to win stage number 1. Joseph Kazi in 2nd. Levine in 3rd. Cameron King 4th. Lou Christian in 5th. PB Henry in 6th. Chase Johnson 7th. Jordan Sailors in 8th. Tom Ringer 9th. James Saples are your point scorers. We're going to go ahead and take a step back and go to a commercial break. When we come back, we got stage number 2.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Spartans Master Series from the Phoenix Raceway. I'm Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Joe LaCastro. Austin Derbyshire is also here in the production booth. We've just finished up stage number 1, and man, it was a caution-filled event. We're getting ready to jump into stage number 2 here. Jordan Sailors is going to be the race leader after a little bit of pit strategy. A couple guys staying out. Sailors has 35 laps on his tires. Abbott has 20. Kalen Mitchell behind them has 12.
Charles Abert, currently in second, only has 1 set of tires remaining. Kalen Mitchell has none.
What? No, he's got more than that. That's just pit stops, not tire sets taken.
I'm thinking tire sets. I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. I'm reading the wrong number.
Yeah, he's definitely got some tires left. He's got to. Unless he's an idiot. He might just be really dumb. I don't know. Hope not. Hope not for Kalen's sake.
No, I'm sure you're right. That is the pit count.
Oh man, Charles Abbott just did not go on the restart. Jordan Sailors is absolutely gone. I mean, Abbott caught sleeping.
Wow. Zoom. It's like he wasn't even aware it was happening.
It allows a couple of them to get stacked up further behind them. Johan looking just about 3 wide. Holy cow. Ty racing a little bit further back. I thought for sure I was about to see one going around. But everybody able to keep it okay for now. Kazi leading his teammates, but a little bit further back. Evan Ethel and Chase Johnson. Or sorry, Evan Ethel and Cameron King are going at it. And Caleb Mitchell and Kyle Westwood are going at it. Third place right now. Westwood on the newer tires, trying to take the spot away from him.
And he's got a good chance. 92 of Kyle Westwood on the inside right now, though. Holding on tight to that spot. Diving low, taking advantage of that apron. Oh, Caleb Mitchell
Mitchell's
loses
around.
it. He's in the wall.
Into the inside wall, able to keep it straight. That's going to be some decent damage on the 67, though. It wasn't a huge hit, but it wasn't a tiny one either.
Now he's back on the track. Charles Abert
Just
also
broke
getting
loose
a little bit
through the dog leg there. Levine almost taking out Abert. Oh God bless. We're trying. Oh well, there it is. The yellow flag's gonna fly for that one. Kyle Westwood. Somehow no yellow, stuck down on the apron. Off the racetrack technically, so no yellow flag. I'll take it.
Wow, technically off the racetrack is right, but we all know the truth. That was legal ground for a lot of cars. We had to go around him, and the fact that we didn't get a yellow there, very surprising, but very good.
I can't believe that they don't have that sectioned as part of the racetrack for a caution. Oh, I guess it's technically pit X. Well, no, it's not. You're out of pit road already. I can't believe that's not. Well,
there's yellow. You
doesn't matter. We got the yellow anyway a little bit later, so it's like the 91
Wow.
Cameron King. Cameron King had some type of issue.
I got a bunch of names
Charles
here.
Abert. Might have been Abbott again.
I got a bunch of names flying by here. Saucier, Ethel, Klotz.
Yeah, it was just Abbott getting in the corner.
Schroeder.
Lost it.
Sanchez.
A couple more guys came piling in. Saucier there, they were committed to the top groove or higher on the racetrack and could have slowed down, or at least couldn't get on the brake without it pushing them back up the racetrack instead. So everybody had to just kind of get on the brakes and take what they could get there. Hope it wasn't going to be too big of a hit.
Well, we're officially sub 3 digits now. We're at 93 laps to go, I believe.
That's what I like to hear. Not quite.
Not quite. 103.
No.
I'm doing my math all wrong right now.
Yes. 98.
Thank you. 98. I should have said 97. I'm sorry. All those cautions I was trying to keep track of made all my arithmetic all off. But the important part is we're still sub 100.
Jeffrey Oaks getting a lucky dog here. He was 3 laps down, so he's getting one of those back. Still 26 cars left out there on the lead lap. Kayla Mitchell needed that caution because, well, he had a good bit of damage on the left front. Hopefully he can come down and get a good bit of that fixed up. But tough break for Kaylin there. Just, again, the dog leg has just not been kind to anybody today.
No, that's a mean dog. And it looks like Kaylin Mitchell might be putting the car up in the truck.
Is Kaylin calling it quits? He did. Yeah, he did disconnect.
I think he called
Kaylin.
it. That was rough. I saw after the initial slam, he was in the wall again at least once. There might have been some real damage there. We're talking probably 40 minutes of damage, I'm guessing. 45 minutes of damage.
Tough break. Thought Kaylin was going to have a good chance tonight. Was running up there towards the front. Just like I said, man, the dog leg is it's been just unbelievably treacherous. I really underestimated how difficult it was going to be tonight. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it's been.
Hey, it was my first key to the race. I guess none of these guys were watching the broadcast.
I guess not. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention.
First thing I said, you got to master that dog leg or it'll kick you. Once again, it's just a beautiful night for the Desert 185, I believe it was called. Love the look of this racetrack.
Fortunately, the racing here in real life sucks.
Oh.
So it looks pretty. And it's nice that the, it's cool. They got cactuses out there, but the racetrack sucks. So, like, is the light up cactus cool at the start finish line? Yeah, it's pretty cool. But is the racetrack pretty cool? Not really. Not really.
See, these are the things I'm learning as I get more into the hobby, more into the interest level there. It's true. That's right. The hills are filled with snakes.
Jordan Sailor's back to the gas. Kenny Powell didn't get a great restart, but it was a whole hell of a lot better than Abbott the last time. Causey already to the outside. Oh, Johan was almost the next victim of the dog leg. He got sideways through it on the restart. Somehow able to hang on, but he's dropping spots. I mean, it doesn't matter where we're looking. Somebody's just about half spinning through the dog leg. Johan goes from 4th to 8th on the initial jump on the restart. Everybody else more spread out. A couple battles. Westwood down to the inside here. But mostly single file.
Yep, nothing too crazy going on. A little bit further back, though, we've got some cars that are spreading out a little bit. Cameron King down to the inside. He was almost falling back enough to make it 3 wide, but not quite. Now a little bit further back from that on the outside, it looks like we've got, what's that on the outside? Todd Parent? I believe so. A little bit of smoke.
And the 59's around. So another caution.
Ah, unfortunate.
Kyle Fountain down to the inside here. Must have been another victim of the old dog leg.
Let's see.
He's got nobody near him, so I'm thinking that's a dog leg.
That's a dog leg.
That one's a yellow, but the other one wasn't.
That is the real surprise.
I guess he's sideways earlier here before he's down in a pit road exit. I guess it's really where the black tarmac is that it's pit road exit, so I guess it's different.
Yeah. Into the pits goes Cameron King and Chris Hudson, Kevin Zosiak.
Pretty camera here. Liking all the different shots we can get around the Phoenix Raceway for all the caution laps.
Yeah, I like them. Very nice camera package we got going on tonight. Now the blimp cam. The good view of the surrounding hills. With eyes back on the leader, Jordan Sailors.
At the pace this race is going, we might be able to find the Phoenix Raceway version of the Dale Jr. cutout. Do you know about that, Joe?
I do not.
Every iRacing track, every single one that is scanned into this game, has a one group of two fans. It's Dale Jr. and I believe it's Steve Myers that are standing together. Every single racetrack. It's like a little Easter egg. They're at every single one.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eyes peeled and see if I can figure out what corner of the ground.
I mean, it's going to be tough to find. You know, they hide them random spots in the infield, outside the track, in the stands. You know, it's tough to find. It's tough to find.
Usually not in the stands. Okay, okay.
Yeah, because you can't really blend them in with fans. That would be a little too, like, oh, they're just in between all the other fans in the middle of the stands. Like, you'd have to sift through 100,000 faces at Daytona. That would not be fun. I mean, where's Waldo, but with 100,000 people? Nah.
While you're pacing at 75 miles an hour.
And he might not even be in the stands. He might be in the infield somewhere at one of the RVs or something. Like,
yeah. Lights are out in the pace car.
Just one more time around before we go racing once again. Less than 90 laps to go. So we're getting there, slowly but steadily.
All right, boys, put your racing hats on. Let's see what you can do.
We'll see. Can they keep the racing hats on for long? Do the racing hats stay on for long? That is the question. Jordan Sailor's still up in the race lead, still on the much older tires. Kenny Powell, slightly older than Kazi right behind him. Green flag's out. Jordan Sailor's back to the gas. Racing again here at Phoenix. Sailor's easily out to the lead. Not under a challenge down into turn number one. Powell does have Kazi all over the back bumper, though, as we head down into the corner. Having to get a little bit of breathing space. Kazi trying to find a way by, just trying to get into a rhythm.
Can he find it? Down to the inside hard goes Joseph Kazi. He's looking for speed right now. Does he find it? Maybe. Braking zones are making it a little bit tough right now. Like I said, you got to brake carefully going into that first turn.
Causing to the inside, getting to the gas earlier, almost contact between the two. But Powell runs out to the fence. Causey down to the inside, cutting the dog leg. Not quite clear yet before we head to one, but he's going to be later on the brakes. He's going to take the spot. Levine's going to do the same, get himself into third, even with a little bit of contact there with Powell.
Bit of contact, good save. Causey holding on to second. He's only...
And the yellow. 22, hard into the inside wall. Dave Fugie.
With an equipment issue, it sounds like.
Oh. Just a little bit of contact coming off of turn number 4. Got the wiggles. Oh, and then like the car just kept going straight. I think that's where you said the equipment failure. Maybe something came in after the initial wreck. I don't know. Getting on board here. Obviously, just got the wiggles, and these things, once you get the wiggles, it's hard to get it back. Oh, and you can see it's just the first impact broke it. Couldn't steer after that, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
another car coming by. Just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Really terrible if that's going to happen.
We're going to go ahead and jump, get a little look to our schedule for the week ahead here on Grid Vision. Give you guys an idea of what's going on the week ahead. Obviously, still a lot of racing to go. And on Thursday night, well, we got the ISCA, a little bit of a one-off from the Phoenix Raceway at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then right back here from Phoenix again for the Riker Performance. Friday night, NIS Top Split, closing out the NIS season in style from the Phoenix Raceway at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then again, on Saturday, Circuit Zandvoort, the major series is back again at 9 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of 9 p.m. races this week, a little bit later in the week, keeping it nice and consistent for you guys. Make sure it's nice and easy for you to find.
It looks like that's going to be it for Dave Fugie Jr. too.
Yeah, that was a couple big hits. That doesn't surprise me too much. After the first hit, he couldn't even steer, and that's where the second one came from. So, not too surprising to see him down and out of it, but definitely a heartbreaker. Tough to see him have to go out in the early going and not get a chance to have a run at this thing at the end. But to be fair, there's a lot of people saying the same thing at this point, right?
That's true. That's very true. One to go. Looks like we have a chime in from the YouTube chat. It's not difficult. It's dudes being stupid, but I digress.
I mean, there's been a little bit of both. There's
a little column
been,
A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah. I think that's a safe way to say it.
Some of it's Phoenix, some of it is bad decision making.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. I think that's fair. Either way, coming up to the restart zone once again. Who's it going to be? Jordan Sailors. Back to the gas, back to the green flag. Can we stay green this time?
Time will tell on grid vision. Back a little ways, trying to see if any battles are developing. The outside right now, Nick Shell is taking it from Charles Abert. Abert down to the inside, back up to the outside. He puts it too wide. Almost 3 now. And it's Chris Hudson back there putting it 3 wide with Charles Abert also.
Hey, whatever works. If it works out for him and they don't wreck, go for it.
Yeah.
Chad Kibbe to the inside in the top 10 to Kyle Westwood. He was involved in a 3-wide incident earlier, but he's getting himself back into the top 10. Battling for more up to 9th.
Sailors now challenging the leader.
Or no, Kazi challenging the leader. Kazi getting by Jordan Sailors. Sailors on the older tires. Not able to put up a good enough fight, but he just about finds the back of Joseph Kazi. Oh, PB Henry getting twitchy a little bit further back, hangs on to it.
Very good. Yeah, by the time I got to it, it looks like Kazi was already halfway through his pass.
Sailors starting to struggle. Now he doesn't have the clean air either. How fast is he going to bleed positions now that he doesn't have the clean air? And when does he decide to come down pit road, take the tires? I mean, so far into this run, I would say I can't believe he hasn't come down yet, but 63 laps on tires. How many of those were actually under caution? A lot.
Seminario now back up into 4th position, trying to make his way up into the podium again. He's got eyes on Levine, hoping to make the pass on the inside, but Levine goes for the block down to the inside, keeps off Seminario just for now. We'll see what happens. Another couple of turns.
Seminario to the inside, still just trying to take it for PB. Henry way up the racetrack. Can he get the run off? He's trying to go for it, trying to keep the right rear of Johan, but he's not going to be able to. Seminario drifts up, takes the spot. PB's fighting him back. Johan drifted down, throwing the block. Going to be contact. Johan shipped up to the outside of the racetrack, keeps it off the fence, but he's going to lose another spot because of it. That was a, you've heard of a bump and run. That was a shuck and run.
Yeah. Hairy situation for Seminario, too. Very good for him to keep it out of the wall there. Very close call. Could have had our next yellow of the night. Didn't. Kept it clean. Kept it driving forward enough that no one checked into him, and we're good to go.
Ooh, man. These guys, there's a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting. Even on the radio, some people a little upset. Levine up to 2nd. Sailors starting to bleed now. PB Henry able to take 3rd away from him, it looks like, as they're going to head down into turn number 1. Not clear yet, but as they go down to the corner, going to be able to be later on the brakes. He takes it. Sailors moving back to 4th. But Kazi has stretched out that lead pretty big over Levine here.
That lead now almost a full second between Kazi and Levine. Levine really having to put in the work to defend. I think that's keeping him from trying to close on the distance right now. That defense takes full time, especially against PB Henry right now. Henry just on the bumper of Levine. Trying to trade sides with him, but can't quite seem to find a good spot right now.
Levine now trying to hang on to 2nd as PB has found a little bit of speed here all over the back bumper of Justin Levine. PB Henry might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Didn't use the dog leg that time. Gave some separation, giving himself some air coming down into turn number 3 so he can really rotate the middle of the corner. Try to get a better run off. See if he can get a run down into turn number 3 on Levine. I think he's a little bit too far back down the back straightaway this time.
Yep, just a little bit too far, it looked like. Unfortunately, that gap is a lot more daunting than it looks. Just closing this gap on a track like this, when you've seen so many cars go around just for trying to drive their line, I would imagine that some of these guys have toned down their overall rhetoric from how they would usually drive any other track. but this track's tonight.
Yeah, whenever you have the slew of cautions at the beginning, you really got to tone it back a little bit, kind of understand the point of the race you're at. Let's not go crazy. Let's not continue this string of cautions the whole time. And we've only got 19 cars on the lead lap from 36 starters. That's how many cautions we've had and how many people involved in incidents. It's been a melee out there tonight.
Really, that's a good word for it, a melee, a fracas. $19 out of 35 cars on the lead lap. That's almost half.
Just one more. Just one more.
Yep, just one more.
Todd Parent, the last car on the lead lap right now. He's got about half of the racetrack on Joseph Cosby, so he shouldn't be getting lapped anytime soon. But you never know. Just takes one more accident, one more spin, one more
That's
wreck
right.
for there to be another lap car. So we could reach that halfway point. But for now, Parent hanging on, not looking like it's going to be over the next couple of laps. Somebody else hanging on, Levine hanging on to second. I thought PB was going to be giving him a bigger challenge a little bit earlier, but he's kind of settled about 2-3 tenths of a second off this back number.
Finally got into that good green flag racing portion of the night. I think the single flag restarts went a long way to calm everyone's nerves a little bit. Still had a few yellows after that, but it's been a lot less.
Yeah, going to single file has definitely helped. That is for sure. The 43 looking to get around. Chris Hudson trying to pick up a spot, but also on the defensive. Cameron King trying to pick up that spot over Chris. But Hudson gets a better run off at turn number 4. Kind of turns it into an offensive bit of momentum to challenge Fontaine, but just not close enough to get up to Kyle.
Down there in the back. Kyle Fountain's holding off there. 3 cars behind him. Hudson King and Nick Schell. All running very closely right now. Probably the tightest pack we've got.
Well, Schell a little bit further back. That's Corey Saucier right behind these guys. He's 2 laps down.
Yeah, that's Corey Saucier. Pardon me.
Levine's starting to reel in Kazi a little bit. He was a tenth of a second. Not quite a tenth, but almost a tenth of a second faster than Kazi last time. Going to keep track of lap times this time as they cross the line. Kazi getting ready to cross. 27.826. Levine 27. Or sorry, it updates a little bit later, but still a little over a tenth that time for Levine. So Levine's starting to eat into that gap, eat into that race lead that Joseph Kazi has.
Let's see if it can pay off. The gap that was a second is now just a little bit less.
Kazi faster that time. Levine had a bit of a messy lap. Now running it in really, really wide down into 1. Trying to find any bit of momentum, any bit of pace they can all over the racetrack. Not really able to do it though. Levine still losing touch ever so slightly with Kazi down the back straightaway, it looked like. Watching him come across the line this time. Kazi a little bit quicker again, it looks like, unless it's going to update on me again. No, it looks like Kazi just a little bit quicker, half a tenth.
Seminario has made the pass around PB Henry, taking 3rd, working his way back up into the podium, our pole sitter from earlier in the race. Passing lap cars left and right. Ooh, we got some smoke down there.
Oh, there's the yellow.
I think that was Todd Parent. Let's get eyes on.
Yep, Todd here in the 69 coming out of 4.
Oh, that's a technical.
Yeah, I hope it was a technical.
I think he said that his equipment went out on him.
Oh, well, that sucks. Took out the 2. Lou Christian had nothing to do with that. Running really good up in the top 5, right? I mean, poor Lou Christian. I mean, he was running so good. Yeah, he's running 5th place. That sucks. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and take what should be our final commercial break of the racing action tonight. Whenever we come back, should take it to the checkered.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Spartans Master Series. Getting ready to restart here with about 56 laps left on the docket. Kenny Powell up in the race lead. I believe he took 2 tires on the pit stop. Joseph Kazi in second. Justin Levine lining up in third. How good of a restart can Kenny Powell get? How long can he hang on the 2 tires? Powell to the gas, but Kazi rolled him really good through the restart zone. Kazi all over the back bumper. Through the dogleg, Kazi not giving Powell any room. It was a terrible restart for Kenny Powell. A great one for Kazi, but now Levine to the inside of Kazi down into turn number 1. Not letting Kazi challenge for the race lead. Instead, it's a fight for second.
Kazi's challenging anyway, though. He's going out on the inside. And he's going to take it half a car. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Kazi takes first.
Joseph Kazi to the race lead, got to the inside, was able to use the momentum from the top side of turn 4, got to the inside of his rival Kenny Powell there to the inside, down to 3, able to take it. Now Johan looking to the inside, trying to take second from Powell, using Powell as a pick to get past Levine, and now getting past Powell for second place. Johan He's looked like maybe the quickest driver out here all night. Now in second with a chance to run down his teammate.
Powell falls back one more and loses a spot to Justin Levine. Levine holding that middle line very well, still not letting Powell back in.
Kenny might have not taken tires. I'm not sure if he took 2 or no tires, but either way, he did come down pit road, at least took gas, but he came out first. But he is bleeding positions really quick, leading me to believe that he might not be on any tires. PB Henry down to the inside. Only 6.7 seconds in pit road for Kenny Powell, so definitely no tires on that thing. Starting to lose positions pretty quickly. PB Henry making quick work of him to 4th. Chad Kibbe now getting himself into the top 5, down to the inside. Powell's just going to keep leading spots.
Chad Kibbe is up 5 places. Kenny Powell is up 30 places from where he started tonight's race.
Powell got hit, but the 57 is the one getting sideways. Chase Johnson somehow able to, maybe not. Oh, they're still beating and banging. Somehow Chase Johnson hangs on. Okay. He went in there, just about punted Kenny Powell, but then drifted the entire corner. So thank God we didn't get another yellow.
Thank God.
Oof, that's a weird bit of contact.
Yeah.
I can't believe he hung on to that.
What a save.
Kazi, Johan, Levine, your top 3, 1 sim representing up at the top right now. Johan's starting to reel in Kazi, though. He's been a little bit quicker.
Let's see if he can do it. Looks like right now he's kind of holding back a little bit. Not putting his full weight into it.
Can't go 100% just yet. You gotta hang back, bring the tires, up to temperature. You don't want to just absolutely spike them through it and run them to death in the first 5 or 10 laps. But he's keeping his teammate within check here, within striking distance. If you hang on to that right rear, that should be all you need to make the pass, especially coming out of turn number 4. As long as you just hang on to it and be able to get the power down late in the run, should be able to make the move. But you just never know how much is Kazi saving up in the race lead. Is he pushing too hard? Down to 1, seems to be pretty wide through the entry of the corner, like pushing really, really heavily in the center. So I think Kazi's driving pretty hard up in the race lead right now. Might open up an opportunity for Johan a little bit later in the race if he saves his tires right.
That's a good point. Tire strategy is already in play full swing, but we'll see how it plays out for Kazi, especially if he's been driving it hard for a while. He's going to see that drop off start to hit him.
Hudson, Bison, and Johnson fighting for 8th, 9th, and 10th back here. Kyle Westwood a little bit further in front. He's kind of separated themselves from these guys, gotten past the slow car on old tires of Kenny Powell and has separated himself, but Hudson trying to make himself the next one to do that, get himself up to 7th. Powell, again, just continuing to slip back. Not really much he can do on the older tires, though. Back to 9th, almost contact with Besaw. Holding on to that right rear really, really tight is Kenny Powell as we come down into turn number 1. Still hanging on, but you just got to think it's a futile effort.
See if that futile effort pays off. Up there at the front, that lead has not increased much. Still under half a second between Kazi and Seminario right now.
How about, since we finally got a little bit of green flag running, how about we take a little bit of a step aside and just go on board with a few of these guys and rev up the volume a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed that little rev it up segment. 37 laps to go at the line this time. Causey still your leader. Johan and Levine not letting them get away, but not able to challenge either just yet. They're about 4/10 apart between first and second and second and third. A little bit further back to PB Henry. He's dropped off the battle for the top three. Sitting another second and a half off the back bumper of Justin Levine, but Chad Kibbe keeping PB Henry honest, another second off. But then, man, big gap. Big gap. 3 seconds back to Kyle Westwood in 6th place, Chris Hudson in 7th, and then Robert Visa in 8th before you get another huge jump. And I really think this is indicative of who had a hard time getting past Kenny Powell on the tires. Chase Johnson back in 9th, Cameron King in 10th, and then finally you got Kenny Powell on the older tires way back in 11th.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. With Powell falling back with his tire situation, every new set of racers had to figure out a way to deal with him. And that would create several different situations where he'd get passed by a few cars at a time that then would be competitive to each other. So he's just creating little races, little mini races as he goes.
Johan starting to close in on the back bumper of his teammate, and his teammate is starting to close in on the back bumper of some lap traffic, which could throw a wrench into this thing. Could provide Johan an opportunity to finally make a move on Joseph.
Can't even trust himself.
I was going to say, it'd be a little weird if he made a move on himself.
Who can you trust?
Johan a little twitchy. Just a little twitchy. Going to lose a little bit down the back straightaway. It's just hard to fight through the dirty air at a place like this. I mean, it is as single groove as it gets. Even in 1 and 2, where you got kind of all the racetrack, I feel like it's relatively easy to aero block from the leader's perspective. Hard to find a lot of clean air in any meaningful situations. You really want to get it down to the bottom, kind of drift up. I feel like the line is relatively stagnant, so it's just tough for Johan to actually find anywhere to make ground up on his teammate.
He's doing his best. He's doing his best, but that making up ground is a tough call when you're at the front of the racetrack and you've got someone like Joseph Kazi ahead of you.
Another 5 seconds up the racetrack before the next lap car, so it's going to be a little while. It is a group of 3 of them, so it could provide a challenge. Of course, Saucier coming down pit road. But it could provide a challenge whenever these two get there. But Johan closer than he's been. But, you know, you look lower, you have the clean air for a moment, but as soon as Kazi comes down, takes the normal racing groove, takes that clean air away from you, you just push through the center of the corner. Nothing you can do. Johan just trying all he can muster, but it's just so tough being stuck there in the dirty air. Pushing as hard as you can in the dirty air to get side by side, wears out the right front tire, which makes the move even harder to get done whenever you finally do get side by side. And if you never do get that move done, eventually you just fall off the back bumper at the end of the run because you run your stuff out. So hopefully for Johan here, he can keep the fight up.
Well, we'll see how much fight's left in him with only 29 laps left to go.
You got to count the one they're on. Still at 30, or still 30 to go. Still 30 to go.
30 to go. I keep forgetting I got to count the one they're on. I got to add 1 to my count.
Oh yeah.
Something I learn every day when calling a race. A lot of little idiosyncrasies and details I gotta remember.
Little
but
tiny
it's been fun. The process of learning has been fun and enriching.
It's fun whenever you don't have 20 cautions.
Yeah. You don't learn much about racing from that, except for how to be patient.
My last race I called was Friday at Martinsville. Not a great follow-up to that. That was, oof. Which, to be fair, this was way better than that still. 31 cautions for NIS. That's
31 cautions. With how many laps? 120?
250.
250. Oh, NIS. Yeah, 250.
31
cautions.
Your average, dude, it was 154 caution laps out of 250. Like, that's just,
goodness.
I mean, it's just atrocious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too many. Something needs to be done.
As bad as it got tonight, it was never to Martinsville levels. So it's okay. It's
Phew.
okay. Ooh, Kazi getting a little loose. Johan starting to put the pressure on him. This could be the battle for the win. Johan looking to the inside, not going to be able to get there this time. But I'm finally starting to see some chinks in the armor for Kazi.
Yeah, Kazi is losing speed, and that's not something that I was expecting at this point, though. It could spell doom for him. He is getting a little bit loose out of some of these turns. That does look like it's costing him a little more than it's paying off in dividends. And with Seminario right there, he's got to be thinking, I got to block this guy. I got to make sure that he doesn't take this away from me.
Kazi hanging on. Saucier coming through on newer tires. Going to break up the battle more than likely. So a little bit of a weird scenario here with some new tires coming through. Just kind of minding his business behind these guys, though, for now. Not really forcing the issue. Kazi, though, forcing the issue out of turn number 4, having to go on the defensive. Johan was looking to the inside, not going to take it. Now Corey on the newer tires, looking to the outside, trying to get around these guys. He's trying not to interrupt the battle for the win, and I respect that from Corey. Let these guys battle it out a little bit, get it sorted. Still to the outside of Kazi here, though, through the dog leg. Should be able to clear him before we get off the exit of the corner with the newer tires, you would think. But it might put off Kazi on exit ever so slightly and gives Johan the run. Not quite, though. Johan did not get the run that he needed down the back straightaway, so they're going to stay status quo.
Let's see if this next lap gives him the momentum he needs. He's in a tight drafting position right now. Not a huge track for drafting, but he's in a tight position right now to get in that bubble. Borrow a lot of speed out of the 88, and we'll see how it goes.
Coming to the line, 22 laps to go. Kazi hanging on to the race lead. Johan trying to steal it from him. Their teammate has faded off of them 1.3 seconds back, but Johan's looking to the inside. He's finally there, side by side. Contact for the race lead between the two teammates coming through 1 and 2 at Phoenix.
They are just about trading paint right. They were just about trading paint there on that turn. Looks like Kazi's holding him off just barely. He knows he does not have the speed for really pulling away at this point, so he's just got to play a strong but safe defense.
Kazi trying to cut the nose off, coming out of turn 2, able to do it. Get a little bit better run down the back straightaway to cover off, coming down into 3. But, oh, Seminario's just going to punt him down into the corner, give him a huge shot. Can Kazi hang on and get good momentum coming out? Coming off the corner, Johan has better drive, looking to the inside through the dog leg. Still, it's going to be Kazi as we head down to the turn number 1. Johan looking to the inside, almost contact again between the two teammates. Kazi getting forced up the racetrack. This is bringing Levine into the fray as Kazi's not giving the lead up and makes contact with Johan again. Pitches him down to the apron, bringing Levine back into it.
Wow. Kazi with that pinch just gave him a little bit of a tap, sent him a little bit wobbly, but Seminario held on to it.
Johan to the inside through the dog leg, looking for the race lead down to turn number 1 once again. Can he get the move done this time? Kazi again not giving him any room down to the bottom of the corner. Levine way up by the wall, just trying to build momentum, trying to build a run as Johan skating off the corner. Contact between the two, he finds a hole in between them. Johan with another run down into turn 3 and 4. Surprised he didn't go for the bumper that time on Joseph now that Levine's to his bumper. Three-way fight for the race lead back on the front straightaway.
Let's see what happens. Kazi, Seminario, and Levine, a nice tight little pack here. Passing lap traffic. Ooh. Very quickly.
Picks up with the lap traffic there for Johan and Levine. Johan diving right back down to the back bumper of Kazi. Johan definitely better on the tires at this point. Levine, I can't tell if he's for real or a faker, if he only got up here because they were battling, or if he's actually got anything left in that number 1. But it's a three-way fight, 17 laps to go. Apparently somebody's wrecking on track somewhere, but we don't have the caution flag flying. So we're still green, still staying green, still fighting for the race win. Johan looking to the inside. He's going to break a little bit earlier, just trying to put Joseph off and get a better run on exit. He gets the nose pointed. The 56 looking to the inside, trying to get the run. Can he get the side draft down the dog leg? Coming down to turn 1, Johan looking for the lead once again. Kazi pinching him down low. Levine way up high, trying to build a run again. Nothing between the two as they make contact again, coming off of turn number 2. Another door bang from the 56. A little bit of contact, letting him know he's there, wanting to push him out of the way, but not willing to do it to a teammate. Levine looking to the middle, not able to make the move. Johan a little sideways down on the bottom. It looked like he had the move going. Justin Levine way down low. He's going to spin it off into the inside wall. He was trying to make it 3 wide, but instead the number 1 is done.
Levine, oh. Yeah, that's a hard hit. That can spell it for him tonight.
Still racing hard for the race lead. Johan and Kazi not giving it up. Kazi driving him all the way down to the apron. Oh, not to the left or to the right rear. That's not where you want to do it. 14 laps to go at the line. Kazi just trying to hang on. What can Johan do? Can he just drive it in deep enough here? Down into 1. Kazi still on the door, ripping it around the outside. Can Johan finally clear him? He does. That's it for the race win. Johan's trying to skate off into the distance.
Wow, what a shakeup. Johan right back where he started tonight's race. Kazi up 4 places. It's got to be good to be Johan right now. You get that pole position right back where you left it, basically, up there at the front of the pack.
Coming to 12 laps to go down the back straightaway. Once again, Levine had to come down pit road. His race effectively over due to that spin at the, in the dog leg. About 15 laps to go. He was going for the race lead, had the run, but could not make it stick. Saw the dog leg bite so many people so far today. It bit one of our contenders for the race win here at the end. Chad Gibby He's inherited 4th off of that, and he's got Robert Besaw not too far behind, chomping at the bit, trying to get himself that 4th place spot.
Well, let's see if he can pull it off. That'd be a good feat for the evening. Moving on up. And 11 laps to go. Pardon me. Oof, Causey is a 1.5 seconds almost back now at this point from Minario.
Just shows how much the clean air meant. You could tell that Causey was starting to struggle on those tires, already slipping back to being that far off of Johan. Just tells you how much he was eating into those things. He's hoping for a caution. I think he's got another set of tires he can put on it. Besaw looking at the inside of Kibby for 4th, a little bit further back down to turn number 1. These two side by side. Kibby's been hanging on, but Besaw able to take the spot pretty easily over Kibby there. That's for P4, but he bit off a little bit more than he could chew into the fence. Kibby looking back to the inside, trying to take it back.
So we got a fan of Kibby again. That's Tim. We got a comment from YouTube. Come on, Kibby, burnout time or burn time.
Besaw rips it around the outside of 1 and 2, finally getting the move done, sticking it into 4th place. Chad Kibby falls back to 5th.
Unfortunate, but he's still up 5 places, so he's in a pretty good spot to finish out the race.
7 laps to go at the line. Johan still leading the way.
Yep,
Joseph
and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Joseph has to worry about losing 2nd. He's struggling so massively that PB Henry is flying up on his back bumper. I mean, Johan is losing 0.5 seconds a lap.
Oof.
Oh, he's sideways. Johan's going to be the caution. He comes back on the racetrack. The yellow flag is flying. Oh, no.
Causey sideways. Let's see what happened.
Oh, he was clutching and coasting, and as soon as he got off the clutch, it spun around on him. I didn't realize that he was gonna have to fuel save. I didn't think that was necessary, but I mean, I guess that makes sense why he was losing 0.5 seconds a lap. I'm just shocked. I didn't think that anybody needed to fuel save. Everybody's gonna have to come down pit road, take that last set of tires.
Yep. If you got it, take it. With only 5 laps to go. For the guys at the top, it's gonna be anyone's race. As pit lane stacks up, getting ready to end this thing.
So we're gonna have a green and white checkered to decide this. Probably pretty fitting, I gotta say.
It has
the
to
way
be.
that the night has gone.
Yeah, that's just poetry. It's poetry in motion, as they say.
Yeah. Seminario comes back out in the race lead like you would assume. Robert Besaw up to second. PB Henry in a third. Chad Kibbe fourth. Kyle Westwood in a fifth. Kazi way back to sixth. So bad pit stop for Kazi, because I don't think he lost that many spots just off the spin.
No, I guess not. 14.75 seconds in the pits. Come on, Kazi. Make my pick prophecy come true.
Getting ready to come across the line to officially make it a green-white checker. It'll be 2 laps to go at the line this time. A lot of guys getting ready to take the wave around here.
Let's see what happens.
Woo! It's a pretty good wave around camera.
It is.
If you don't drive through the pace car whenever you have the wave around, are you even an iRacer?
Yeah, are you playing the same game?
Like, it's a necessity. You have to.
I like when you drive next to the pace car at the same pace, and you pretend you're a passenger in the pace car. You put your driver's seat right over their passenger seat. All right, here we go.
Do we end it with this one? We're back to the double file restart, so I'm a little worried. But hopefully, we can end it. Green, white, checkered. 2 laps to go, but we do have 3 attempts at it. Johan Seminari up in the race lead. Robert Besaw in second. PB Henry in third. Chad Kibbe in fourth. Those are your contenders. Who will it be? Coming to the restart zone. Johan back to the gas, back to the green flag, and with a huge jump, side by side for second, huge contact. Henry and Besaw come together. Johan says, "Thank you very much. I'll just skedaddle on away."
Here comes the 88 now, charging up a little bit. Kazi's trying to find his way around the 23. He gets it. Potentially he gets 2.
Westwood to the outside. Oh man, he almost slammed the door on PB Henry, even though he was there side by side, 3 wide almost. 3 wide further back now, I should say. Side by side for second. Westwood sideways. White flag's out, so this wreck isn't going to matter. The yellow flag is going to stay in the flagman's pocket, but cars are around. Cars are spinning. Cars are crashing hard into the fence, left and right, inside and out. Just a graveyard down the back straightaway as Johan Seminario looks in his mirror and smiles, hoping nobody's on a stretcher, but thinking, "Thank you for the checkered flag, folks. I'll take it." Kazi somehow recovers up to second, and Johan's going to come out of turns 3 and 4 from Phoenix to win in the Spartans Master Series.
What a green-white checker. The big one at the end. That had to be the biggest wreck of the night. Had to be.
That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. I mean, it's just a gaggle coming down here. I mean, there's just about no room. I'm surprised they didn't wreck it coming down to the turn.
It's a pyramid of cars. 1, 2 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, 1.
Westwood and Powell both wreck on their own, and then at that point, well, it's the white flag. Nobody's going to lift, and well, nobody did lift.
Nick, you know what? That was a green-white checker the exact way it's supposed to be used.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
It ain't pretty, but it's functional.
I guess we could go ahead and move into our, well, we got to do the full field rundown first. Let's go ahead and go through our full field rundown here of the Spartans Masters Series this Tuesday night from the Phoenix Raceway. The race, obviously, won by the guy doing the burnouts right now, Johan Seminario, in that number 56 Team Conti Sim Performance Toyota Camry. Joseph Kazi in second, PB Henry in third, Chad Kibbe fourth, Robert Besaw Jr. in fifth, Jordan Sailors in sixth, James Staples seventh, Chris Hudson in eighth, Kenny Powell in ninth, Kyle Westwood rounds out the top 10.
Moving right along in 11th place, it's Jeff Chandler. In 12th, it's Kyle Fountains. Excuse me. In 13th, it's Justin Levine. 14th, Nicholas Schell. 15th, Chase Johnson. 16th, Jeffrey Oakes. 17th, Charles Abert. 18th, Corey Saucier. 19th, Art Nicotera. And 20th, Chuck Burley.
21st is Chris Vincent. 22nd, Kevin Zosiak. 23rd, Kyle Gerlach. Mark Sanchez, Evan Ethel round out the top 25, with Scott Schroeder, Cameron King, Luke Christian, Todd Parent, and Daryl Klotz rounding out the top 30.
Finishing things off, Tom Ringer in 31st, Dave Feud, Kaylin Mitchell, 32nd and 33rd, respectively. Charles Manshake in 34th, Dakota Jorgensen in 35th, and rounding things out, Jay Salmon in 36th.
That's going to do it for the full 36-car rundown here tonight from the Phoenix Raceway. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our post-race interviews and bring up our third-place finisher, and that's going to be PB Henry. PB, is a heck of a night from you tonight, running up towards the front all night, even though there wasn't a lot of green flag running for the most part. But what was it like from behind the driver's wheel?
Don't know how to respond to that because there was not a lot of racing. Yeah, I think our longest green flag run was like 50 laps. I get, it's Phoenix. It's just a big Martinsville. But it's hard to say because I was just hoping for more green flag laps. I didn't have near the long run pace I thought I needed to compete with like the one sim guys because they're obviously going to be up front. My short run speed was definitely there. If you start on the pole here, you're going to walk away with the first few laps. So if you start outside pole, you're probably going to fall back a position like I did early on, and then you're just kind of caught in some strategy games with second and third there and where you want to restart. Other than that, it was okay.
Yeah, it was definitely a caution-filled event, and like you said, if you're stuck on the outside, it's just not really much chance that you've got to do anything on the restart. So unfortunate that it panned out that way for you on the early going, but at the end of the day, you ended up coming back for a third-place finish. So it ended up being a really good points night for you. Who do you ever think at the end of this one, PB?
Yeah, I think everybody over at Henry Boise Sports. This was slowly but surely we're putting these races together, and I think this is now my third place finish in a row. I'd have to double check that, but I feel like we've had.
Yeah, it's a dang good streak.
Yeah, that's a very good consistency. Now we're just looking for the win, so hopefully it comes sooner than later.
Well, PB, hopefully it does come pretty soon for you. You've been putting on a good show here recently, like you said. The consistency is there. Just a little bit more speed, and you'll be on the top step here pretty soon.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, that was your third place finisher for the third week in a row. Like you said, PB Henry coming up and talking to us in the booth. Next up, hopefully this time we can actually get in touch with Joseph Causey, because last time he left us high and dry. He wasn't too happy with somebody that wrecked him, so he left us high and dry, I believe is what happened. But we're pulling up our second place finisher, Joseph Causey. He's going to be talking to Joe LaCastro.
Hey, Joseph, how are you doing tonight? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
All right, excellent. Hey, congratulations on that silver medal. Very, very good race. You had the lead there for a little while, and it was it was a race of patience tonight. It definitely seemed like the long game paid off. Tell us a little bit about how you kept your endurance up during all these yellows.
I just try to be very good turn-in wise. I had to make an adjustment because I wasn't very good in the beginning. And then I found a little something there near the end. I didn't get one lick of practice until like basically we started and that little bit of warm up in qualifying. And I was just going off on a whim basically. I was very bad in the beginning, got better in the middle, then I was really good at the end, but I wore the right rear out and Johan got to me, and then I was trying to save and I pretty much screwed the pooch on going into 3 and I spun out like a ding dong.
Yeah, we saw that, but good enough recovery to bounce back into second place. And how about that switch over to the single file restart? Do you think that ended up helping you over the course of the night?
I mean, I got a really good jump on one of the restarts with Kenny Powell. I got a good roll on. Like I didn't really jump him. Like I was just barely rolling up to him, and right when he went, and I hit it, and I was just right on him, and that was a real good jump. I got him right there on the restart. I got him right off of coming out of 2. Yeah, coming out of 2, going into 3, and I was able to pass him right on the first lap and dispatch him. But then I should have started saving then, but I didn't, and it costed me. And then I was, like I said, I was being a dummy, and I was trying to shut off my car and turn the car back on, and then spun out like a ding dong.
Well, the all of the shenanigans aside, you still managed to pull off second place. So again, congratulations on that. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank tonight?
Just shout out to Johan, man. He saved his rear tire. I gave it all to him. I gave him everything I had, and he was able to endure. I pitched the ever loving hell out of him, and he was able to endure all of it, every bit I gave him, man. And he definitely a hell of a teammate, hell of a racer. Thanks to him for freaking painting that car of mine. One of the most liked cars on his what you call it, on Johan's what you call it. So hey, yep. And I can't ask for much. Thank the broadcast, thank my teammates, man. It was a great race.
All right, Joseph. Well, thank you very much tonight. Congratulations on second place for one last time, and we look forward to seeing you race again very soon. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Take it easy. Have a great night. Back up to you.
Alrighty, that was our second place finisher, Joseph Kazi. Next up, we're gonna pull up the guy that was just talking about. He just didn't want to get wrecked through the night. He didn't want to get picked coming into the night because he was so worried about getting wrecked. And well, I don't believe any of us picked him tonight. And look at what happened. He ended up being on the top step of the podium. Johan Seminario. Look at that, man. You were right. The curse. We didn't curse you tonight, and you brought home the victory. How's it feel?
Oh, dude, it feels good. I'm not to knock myself out yet, but it feels great because I just won the last season championship. I won it from on Saturday last week, and it's a nice feeling carrying that momentum to the 2025 and winning the following race. You know, ironically though, right now I'm a very true checkers or wreckers driver this season because the 2 races I've run, I finished, I've won, and the other 4 I didn't finish, I've wrecked out of. So I'm trying to figure out this happy medium, and I need to stop wrecking so much because I've won, but I'm still 20th in points.
Well, you did a good job keeping the wrecking away today, especially through the race with Kazi there at the end. I mean, he was putting up a fight, not letting you go by easy. What was it like trying to get by him there? Because, like I said, he wasn't making it easy on you.
Oh, I knew the second. I actually got mad at myself for letting Kazi get in front because I knew it was going to be a challenge to pass. It's always a battle to pass Kazi, but it's always in good fun and good respect, man. I was telling Kazi at the end of that race, that was probably our most contacted side-by-side races we've ever done, but it was also the cleanest one we've ever done. Like, we were going at it, and at a track like Phoenix too, where like the slightest touch will send our cars sideways. Like, we just kept it under control, and we're fighting to the death pretty much. So huge props to Kazi with that one. It was awesome. Just such a battle. Levine was going to join us too. Unfortunately, his car just didn't like that rebound, and he crashed out. But same thing when you see us with, like, anytime you see one of us together, you know it's going to be a good race for the broadcast, and it's always just so much fun. It's just like I've always said it, we become just faster and faster every week because we keep racing the living shit out of each other every weekend.
Well, it's been working out nicely for y'all so far, racing the shit out of each other. So, Johan, congratulations on the win tonight. Looking forward to seeing if y'all can keep this momentum going forward. And who do you have to thank at the end of this one?
Thank you. Again, big shout out to the boys with Winston, like I said, Kazi, Levine, Reese, you know, all those other guys, and still even other people, friends from within the group like Ed and them. And massive shout out to Team Condors, Team Performance, those guys. Like I said, I was on a setup that Conti put out yesterday. You know, he's still working on it, still putting on updates for everybody and making sure we have the fastest cars available. And he helped me out with some adjustments for this temperature and fuel tank changes and stuff like that. So massive shout outs to those guys, always, you know, doing what they can to make sure that all of us are as fast as we can to give us a good car. And shout out to Martin PC and again, all my friends and family, you guys, and you know, Dave and Benjamin SSRL. Last quick thing. Apologies, Dave. I blew up at him on that green white checker because it went double file, and I didn't agree with it. And I was getting really mad. Hope you know it's just the racer and me getting pissed off, not the person at you, man. All right, it was fun, but yeah, thanks to all those guys and you guys for the broadcast. So.
Well, Johan, thank you for putting on a good show for us tonight over that last green flag run. It was fun to watch some good racing there at some point. So appreciate you putting on a good show, and congratulations once again on the race win.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was your race winner, Johan Seminario. Joe, that's going to do it here from us. What did you think from this one?
What a marathon. It was slow and steady, but it ended up being the race. That's about all I can say.
That's as good of a way as any to put it, I'd say. So we're going to get a quick little look at the schedule one last time. Thursday night, ISCA, 9 p.m. Eastern from the Phoenix Raceway. Friday night, Ryko Performance. Friday night, Top Split at 9 p.m. Eastern from the Phoenix Raceway. And then Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Major Series from Circuit Zandvoort. So a little bit something different on Saturday. Thank God, break us up out of this Phoenix action. Please, thank you, Major Series. I appreciate you. But that's going to do it for us at Grid Vision. And, well, from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. If you would like more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, be sure to contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Big congratulations to Johan Seminario for winning tonight's race from the Phoenix Raceway. This has been Austin Edstrom standing alongside Joe LaCastro and Austin Derbyshire. We will see you next time on the Grid